Good evening. This is Akashvani and I am Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin co-chaired 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit in New Delhi. 16 agreements exchanged in areas of defence, trade, economy and healthcare. Prime Minister Modi says the two nations embarking on a new journey of innovation, co-production and co-creation. India and Russia reaffirm commitment to countering terrorism, call for action against UN-listed terror groups. Government constitutes 4-member committee to review circumstances leading to operational disruptions of Indigo flights, seeks report in 15 days. Industry bodies welcome RBI's rate cut decision. And Velavan Senthilkumar clinches men's title and Anahat Singh women's at the Squash India Tour 4 in Chennai. India and Russia to exchange 16 agreements in areas related to defence, trade, economy, healthcare, academics, culture and media. Addressing a joint press meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin at the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit in New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed confidence that India-Russia friendship will give the strength to face global challenges and this very trust will enrich the shared future of both nations. He stated that India and Russia have been standing shoulder to shoulder in the fight against terrorism. He reiterated India's unwavering belief that terrorism is a direct assault on the values of humanity and said global unity is the greatest strength against terrorism.
आतंकवाद के विरुद्ध लड़ाई में भारत और रूस ने लंबे समय से कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर सहयोग किया है। पहलगाम में हुआ आतंकी हमला हो या क्रोकस सिटी हॉल पर किया गया कायरतापूर्ण आघात, इन सभी घटनाओं की जड़ एक ही है। भारत का अटल विश्वास है कि आतंकवाद मानवता के मूल्यों पर सीधा प्रहार है और इसके विरुद्ध वैश्विक एकता ही हमारी सबसे बड़ी ताकत है।
Prime Minister stated that both sides are working towards the early conclusion of a free trade agreement with the Eurasian Economic Union. Mr. Modi announced that India will soon be launching a free 30-day e-tourist visa and a 30-day group tourist visa for Russian citizens. Mr. Modi said the Russian side has decided to adopt the framework agreement to join the International Big Cat Alliance. Mr. Modi said that President Putin's visit has come at a time when bilateral relations are reaching many historic milestones. He said that in the last 10 years, the world has seen many ups and downs, and in the midst of all this, India-Russia ties have stood the test of time.
15 वर्ष पहले 2010 में हमारी साझेदारी को स्पेशल एंड प्रिविलेज स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा मिला। पिछले 2.5 दशक से उन्होंने अपने नेतृत्व और दूरदृष्टि से इन संबंधों को निरंतर सींचा है। हर परिस्थिति में उनके नेतृत्व ने आपसी संबंधों को नई ऊंचाई दी है। भारत के प्रति इस गहरी मित्रता और अटूट प्रतिबद्धता के लिए मैं राष्ट्रपति पुतिन का, मेरे मित्र का हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं।
Earlier, the Russian president was accorded a ceremonial reception at Rashtrapati Bhavan this morning. The visiting dignitary also paid his respects to Mahatma Gandhi by laying a wreath at Rajghat. In a joint statement issued after the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit, the two countries reaffirmed their commitment to strengthening bilateral and multilateral cooperation in the field of combating challenges and threats such as terrorism, extremism, transnational organized crime, money laundering, terrorist financing and illicit drug trafficking. Both leaders reaffirmed the strong commitment to preventing and countering terrorism in all its forms and manifestations, including cross-border movement of terrorists and terrorist financing networks and safe havens. Both leaders condemned the terrorist attack in the strongest form in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir and in Russia at the Crocus City Hall. Both nations also called for concerted actions against all UN-listed terrorist groups and entities, including Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Daesh and their affiliates. Briefing media in New Delhi this evening, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri said the discussions between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin focused on the proposed free trade agreement that is under discussion between India and the Eurasian Economic Union. He said it was agreed between both sides that negotiations should be fast-tracked for early conclusion with stipulated timelines.
Both sides underscored the importance of expediting the discussions and the negotiations on the bilateral investment treaty, which again will help energize investments in both directions. In addition to this, connectivity initiatives were also discussed, including the International North-South Transport Corridor, the Eastern Maritime Corridor, the Chennai-Vladivostok route, and also cooperation along the Northern Sea route.
The Foreign Secretary remarked that India-Russia defense and military technical cooperation remains robust. He highlighted that Russia also continues to support India's Make in India initiative in this domain. Mr. Mishri said that on Ukraine conflict, President Putin briefed Prime Minister Modi at considerable length. He said Prime Minister reiterated India's long-standing position on this conflict.
President Putin also briefed Prime Minister at considerable length concerning recent developments on the conflict in Ukraine, including on the talks that are currently underway between Russian representatives and US authorities. Prime Minister reiterated India's long-standing position on this conflict, emphasizing India's interest in seeing the earliest possible cessation of hostilities and a sustainable resolution of the conflict through dialogue and diplomacy.
Prime Minister Modi and President Putin also co-chaired India-Russia Business Forum. Speaking at the forum, Prime Minister expressed confidence that India is on course to become the world's third largest economy by steadfastly pursuing a policy of reform, perform and transform.
आज भारत और रूस को इनोवेशन, को प्रोडक्शन और को क्रिएशन की नई यात्रा पर साथ चल रहे हैं. हमारा लक्ष्य आपसी व्यापार बढ़ाने तक सीमित नहीं है. हम पूरी मानवता की भलाई सुनिश्चित करना चाहते हैं. इसके लिए ग्लोबल चैलेंज का स्थायी समाधान तैयार करना है. भारत इस यात्रा में रूस के साथ कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर चलने के लिए पूरी तरह से तैयार है.
The Department of Post today signed a bilateral agreement on the International Tracked Packet Service (ITPS) with JSC Russia Post. The Minister of Communication said that this move marks an important milestone in strengthening cross-border postal cooperation between both the nations. He said that under the agreement, India Post will be able to offer this service to exporters at competitive tariffs, improving price competitiveness and market access for Indian sellers. This is Akashvani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download News on AIR app. Government has constituted a 4-member committee for the comprehensive review of the circumstances leading to operational disruptions of Indigo flights. The committee has been asked to submit a report within 15 days. In a statement, DGCA said the committee will identify the underlying causes leading to widespread operational disruptions. These include assessing the adequacy of manpower planning, fluctuating rostering systems, and implementation preparedness in the context of Flight Duty Time Limit (FDTL) CAR Phase 2 implementation. In view of the Indigo flight disruptions, DGCA also sought the cooperation of all pilot bodies, associations and pilots across India to maintain stable and smooth flight operations. Civil Aviation Minister Rammohan Naidu has said the situation of Indigo flight delays and cancellations is getting better and it is expected that there won't be any waiting at airports from tomorrow. He said the government's major focus has been on reducing the backlogs that have been happening at the airports and it is actively on the ground engaging with all the necessary stakeholders. Meanwhile, the minister has established a 24/7 control room that is monitoring the situation on a real-time basis to ensure swift corrective action, effective coordination and immediate resolution of issues as they arise. The numbers are 011 24610843, 011-2469-3963, 096-503-91859. Indigo CEO Peter Albers apologized for the inconvenience caused to the passengers across the country due to large numbers of flights cancellations. In a video message today, Mr. Albers said that the airline has faced severe operational disruptions over the past few days, with today being the most affected, leading to cancellations of more than 1,000 flights. He added that the airline anticipates daily improvements in service and a return to normal operations between the 10th and 15th of this month. In view of disruption of flight services of Indigo in the country, Northern Railway has taken measures to help affected travellers by providing extra coaches in trains. To accommodate the increased demand as well as for the convenience of passengers, an additional third AC coach each has been attached to both the Jammu Tawi Rajdhani and the Dibrugarh Rajdhani Express. One extra chair car coach each has also been provided in the Chandigarh Shatabdi and the Amritsar Swarn Shatabdi Express. Industry bodies Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI, EEPC India, All India Association of Industries and the Federation of Indian Export Organizations have welcomed the Reserve Bank of India's decision to cut the policy repo rate by 25 basis points to 5.25%. President of Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry, FICCI, Anand Goenka, said the reduction will also reduce borrowing costs for industry and consumers and reinforce the current growth momentum. Benchmark domestic equity indices, the Sensex and the Nifty, closed over 0.5% higher today. The indices opened on a negative note but rebounded after the Reserve Bank of India announced a rate cut and traded with gains for most of the intraday session. The Sensex surged 447 points to close at 85,712, while the Nifty added 153 points to settle at 26,186. The broader market indices at the Bombay Stock Exchange closed mixed. The mid-cap index advanced 0.2%, while the small-cap index declined almost 0.7%. In squash, India's rising star Anahat Singh extended a winning run over veteran compatriot Joshna Chinnappa to clinch the women's title at the HCL Squash Indian Tour 4 in Chennai today. The 17-year-old Anahat outclassed former women's world number 10 Joshna Chinnappa by 3-2 in a gripping 52-minute battle in the final. In the men's category, top men's seed Velavan Senthilkumar claimed the title, defeating Adam Hawal of Egypt 3-1 in the finals. In the Women's FIH Hockey Junior World Cup 2025, India defeated Ireland 4-0 in the final pool match in Santiago, Chile today. With this win, India climbed to the top spot of Pool C. Double goal from Purnima Yadav along with a goal each from Kanika Siwaj and Sakshi Rana sealed the dominant win for India. India's fate now rests with the results of the remaining matches as a way to see whether this victory is enough to secure a spot in the quarterfinals. India has won 2 matches and lost 1 in its pool. Top teams from each pool and 2 second-best teams across 6 pools will advance to the quarterfinals. India Meteorological Department IMD has forecast cold wave conditions in Haryana, Chandigarh and Delhi, Jharkhand, Odisha and Punjab for tomorrow. Dense fog conditions are predicted in Himachal Pradesh and Odisha for the next 2 days. Similar conditions are expected in isolated pockets in northeastern states for the next 2 days. Meanwhile, the air quality in Delhi NCR has been registered in the very poor category this morning. According to the Central Pollution Control Board, the average AQI of the region was recorded at 331 as of 7 p.m. today. The death toll from Sri Lanka's worst natural disaster in 2 decades has climbed to 607, according to updated figures released by authorities today. At least 214 people are still reported missing following the devastation caused by Cyclone Dithwa and subsequent landslides and floods across multiple districts. India's Operation Sagar Bandhu has delivered extensive post-cyclone support to Sri Lanka, providing over 58 tons of relief, medical centres, Bailey Bridge units, NDRF teams, helicopters and naval assistance. Meanwhile, the urban search and rescue teams of the National Disaster Response Force NDRF have concluded the week-long humanitarian mission in Sri Lanka following the devastation caused by Cyclone Dithwa. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin co-chair 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit in New Delhi. 16 agreements exchanged in areas of defence, trade, economy and healthcare. Prime Minister Modi says the 2 nations embarking on a new journey of innovation, co-production and co-creation. India and Russia reaffirm commitment to countering terrorism, call for action against UN-listed terror groups. Government constitutes 4-member committee to review circumstances leading to operational disruptions of Indigo flights, seeks report in 15 days. Industry bodies welcome RBI's rate cut decision. And Velavan Senthilkumar clinches men's title and Anahat Singh women's at Squash India Tour 4 in Chennai. And that is all in the news at 9. Good night.